Hi everyone, I'm April, and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is a crafty edition. Guys, I finished my B.O.B. blanket by Teresa Lou, and this is so huge, and I love it so much. Hold on, I'm tangled. Hold on. All the mess. Yeah, this is a circular blanket made out of either worsted weight or fingering weight held double. I did fingering weight held double to use up a lot of my leftovers, and it ended up being 62 inches in diameter. Huge. I am 63 inches tall. So this is huge. I love it so much. I do still have a couple of ends to tuck in, but scooting. But for the most part, I did magic knot, so hopefully everything will be okay with that. But since I'm going to be hand washing this, I think it's going to be fine. I'm not going to be too hard on it. But oh my gosh, it turned out so pretty. All the colors. Look at all the different colors. All the different stitch patterns. It just turned out so pretty. And I did make the border double the width of what was called for in the pattern, but it turned out so good. So good. I debated about adding, and I still may do it in the future, but crocheting on an edging, maybe with some bobbles or something. But for right now, I'm just happy to be done. I'm happy. I've covered under it so many times already, and it was the most fun that I've had knitting a project in a very long time. Like, something this big normally would have taken me a couple years. This took me less than 3 months, so I'm so excited. I love it so much. Like, see, ends. Ooh. I'll get to those later, but I'm calling it done, and I love it so much. Now, I used up most of my small balls of yarn of fingering weight because I just doubled it up fingering, and I had a whole bunch of, I think there was maybe at the most each color ended up using maybe 15 grams. I just had a whole bunch of little balls and just kept going. Didn't care where they ended in the round. Didn't much care about anything. I just kept putting things together. Then I ran out of really small ones, so I started going into the bigger ones that were more like 40-50 grams or more, just to add in color. So I ended up with leftovers of those. Now I bring that up because there were 3 particular colorways that, as I was working them in, I'm like, these are all kind of a little similar-ish, and I'm going to put them in something. So I started something. Now these are the 3 that I'm talking about. Now this yarn was a Knit Picks Stroll Bear that I dyed with food coloring, just greens and browns and blues, and it just all kind of just did a whole bunch of fun stuff. So it's kind of a variegated, kind of speckly. It's not really speckled because I didn't put enough vinegar, but it's very pretty. Now this one looked very similar as far as like the bluish base that it ended up with. And this one is a Pandia's Jewels Charm yarn. Pandia's Jewels is no longer in business, but I have a bunch of her yarn. And this, I had 3 skeins of it, is called, and this is the only one that's I haven't started yet. I've got 2 here left over from something else. And then this is a full skein, and it's called Festival of Lights. So I found a pattern called Brayton by Tyga Hilliard, and I'll put up a picture of what her version looks like. She did it in one color. I decided to do my version in, oh gosh, this is a tangled mess. My version in all of these speckly colors. The cool thing about the pattern is it starts off like your regular triangular shawl, and then you get to a certain point and you just stop working on one side and you continue on the second side, going down, like making like one side, and then you end up making a bigger triangle, but the center of that triangle, of the bigger part, does not line up with the center of the smaller one. So you'll see it better in the picture. I'm making no sense right now, but I like how it's kind of off-centered. So I started off with these 2, and I'm just alternating skeins every 2 rows. So that's where I'm at, and I'm just going to go until whenever one runs out, I'm going to add the Festival of Lights color. And so it's hard to see the lace because of the speckles and because it's not blocked, but it's just a really simple diamond lace that will, I hope, look really beautiful after it's blocked. It's hard to see because I'm already doing that weird section that where you only work on one side. That's where I'm at. It's hard to see the lace. It's really not going to be easily visible until I block it, and I'm hoping that it doesn't get too camouflaged by the speckles. But either way, I'm loving working on this because the construction is so interesting. I'm having a really, really, really good time with it. And this, okay, so the pattern calls for sport weight on a US 9, but I'm doing fingering weight still on a 9. So that might also affect, well, it's definitely going to affect how the lace looks, but I'm just hoping that it's going to block out as pretty as hers. But regardless, I'm going to have a big triangular shawl in the end, and I am enjoying making this one. This one is also another fun one. I really love when I find, oh, did I drop a stitch? Please tell me that's not a dropped stitch. Hold on, oh, it is a drop stitch. Ew. Now I'm gonna have to figure that mess out. Anyways, this is why I'm called the Tangled Cat Speaks, because there's always a tangle and there's always a mess. It's okay. I don't mind. I'll figure it out. But I'm just really excited. I'm happy that 2 projects in a row, I'm just like, I want to finish this. So excited by it. Sometimes I find myself starting things and then getting distracted very quickly with something else. And so far I'm sticking to it. I am also working on this, and I'm almost done. This is a worsted weight acrylic dog hood, and I hope I'm getting it right. I'm making this dog hood for a friend at work. I had her measure the neck and around the face of her dog, and then I found this pattern, and it's just simply called Big Dog Hood, and it's by the designer is called Hello Gabby. I don't know. I have Hello Dolly in my head, and I know that's not it. I'm pretty sure it's Hello Gabby. I lost my paper. Anyways, so I just, and the lady who requested this dog hood that I'm making for, she wanted like wild, like colors, and just have them be kind of random and crazy. This is as crazy as I was willing to get for someone else. because I don't know what her idea of crazy is compared to the crazy that I have in my mind. So I really, what I'm doing is just pulling out, I'm measuring the yarn, like I have one end here, pull my arm all the way out and come to my neck. And then I just kept doing that 9 times. And that's how long each color section is. So you can see doing that, this is much wider than it is here because this is only, I think 24 stitches or something like that crocheted across. And then this is like 60. So it's the same length of yarn, but it falls differently because it's a different number of stitches. I've just got, let's see, this is about 5 inches here, and I've got to get up to 8, and then I'll start closing the top of the hood. It looks so big, even though this is the neck circumference that, according to the measurements that she gave me for her dog. And this, it just looks so big. And I don't remember that her dog is actually, I've never seen her dog. But I just, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to fit. And I'm so nervous that it's not going to. But I'm almost done. I'm going to take it to work when I am and see if she can get me some pictures of it on her dog. I'm totally willing to remake it if it's not a good fit. But it's crochet and it's worsted weight. I'm using a 4.25 millimeter, which is a G, a USG. The pattern calls for H, but I know that I crochet big. So I went down a hook and I was able to get the gauge that is on the pattern. So I'm hoping, I'm just going by her measurements, what she gave me, and hoping that it works out. Ooh, I hope she likes it. Now, last time I talked about yarns that I had gotten from Breaking Yarn, and that I was going to be working on a crocheted blanket. April squirreled and got distracted and then got detoured to a whole other pattern, and this is actually going to be a knit pattern. Where is my paper? There it is. This is the striped half and half triangle wrap, I think. Now I had originally seen just the half and half triangle wrap that Purl did, that has one color on one half and one color on the other, a different color. This one, and I'm going to put a picture here so you see what I'm talking about. This uses 4 colors, which is what I have, 4 colors, and kind of plays with how the colors interact with each other. And I thought that would be more fun with the colors that I'm using. So I played and played and played with the placement of the colors according to the pattern. So, and I am kind of changing it up just a little bit because of the types of colors that I'm using. Because I think in the pattern, they're all solid colors and they're striped, and these are very not solid colors. So I have started that. This is the Vamonos Pest color. I don't have the other yarns with me. They're in a bag in another room and I didn't think to grab them, but this is what I have started so far. So yeah, but I'm still excited to work with these colors because they're just so fun and different, and I can't wait to get that done. But first, these ones. This shawl I really want to get done, and the dog hood. There are some socks that I want to make, but I don't know that I'm going to have time to get them done now in December if I keep working on these monogamously. I'm trying to be more monogamous with my crafting because I have so many whips I need to finish. I want to finish. I'm excited to finish, but I keep getting distracted by other projects. So I'm trying to just focus, especially after having done that blanket, just straight through, no interruptions. That was just so fun and satisfying when I finally got it done. So I really want to continue with that satisfaction. So that's all that I've got as far as crafting. Let me know what your crafting plans are now for December or for the winter in general. Really love to hear what you got. And I will see you again next time. Bye.